Sir John Franklin was not sailing into emptiness, he was sailing into ambition. For centuries, European empires had dreamed of the Northwest Passage, a sea route through the Arctic that could connect the Atlantic and Pacific. Whoever mastered it would not simply draw a line on a map, they would bend the world's trade routes toward themselves. Franklin's ships were built like floating fortresses. HMS Erebus, HMS Terror, names that now sound prophetic. Their hulls were reinforced, their stores were packed, their officers were experienced. Their mission was noble, scientific, imperial, and deadly. The men left England in May 1845. Families waved from the shore. Newspapers celebrated the mission. The Royal Navy trusted its discipline. The public trusted its heroes. But the Arctic did not care about reputation. It did not care about rank. It did not care about empire. Chapter 2, The Trap. The first winter came, then another. The ships froze into the sea. Imagine it, wooden walls creaking in the dark, iron fittings screaming under pressure, men sleeping in layers of wool while frost crawled across the ceiling above them. Outside, the world was blue, white, and black. Inside, time began to deform. No rescue, no open water, no sign that the ice intended to let them go. By 1847, Franklin was dead. By 1848, the remaining men made the decision no sailor wants to make. They abandoned the ships. The vessels that had carried Britain's dream into the Arctic were left behind like tombs. Chapter 3, The Walk. They walked south. Sick men, freezing men, starving men. They dragged boats over land as if the sea might return to save them. They carried objects that now seem heartbreaking: silverware, books, watches, personal keepsakes, evidence not of practicality, but of men unable to surrender the world they came from. The Arctic stripped them slowly, first comfort, then strength, then reason, then one another. Chapter 4, The Witnesses. Years later, Inuit accounts describe desperate white men moving across the land. Some were weak, some were pulling sledges, some were already beyond saving. For a long time, these testimonies were doubted, minimized, or filtered through British discomfort. But the Arctic had witnesses, and they had remembered. Modern discoveries would prove something profound. The mystery had never been completely silent, it had been spoken. The problem was, who was willing to listen? Chapter 5, The Return of the Ships. Then, in the 21st century, the sea gave back what it had taken. HMS Erebus was found, then HMS Terror. Not as myths, not as ghost stories, but as real ships lying beneath Arctic water, preserved in cold darkness. Cabins, plates, bottles, instruments. The architecture of catastrophe. Every object is now a sentence in a story still being translated. The final chapter of the Franklin expedition is not written in ink. It is written